If you're over 60 and you often wake up at night with a racing heart, heavy legs, nighttime reflux, or morning fatigue, this video is for you. Because tonight, we're talking about the foods seniors should never eat before bed and why they quietly disrupt your sleep, your heart, and your circulation more than most people realize. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and for more than 20 years, I've helped older adults rebuild better sleep and healthier nighttime habits. Most people think their restless nights come from age, stress, or medications, but very often, the problem starts much earlier, right on the dinner plate, or in the late-night snack they reach for without thinking. After 60, your metabolism slows. Your blood sugar becomes more sensitive. Your digestion works at half the speed it once did, and your heart and blood vessels respond more intensely to salt, sugar, heavy fats, and even certain spices. That means the foods you eat close to bedtime don't just sit quietly in your stomach, they activate hormones, raise nighttime blood pressure, interrupt circulation to your legs, and keep your brain from entering deep, restorative sleep. Many older adults tell me they fall asleep easily, but wake up around 1 or 3 a.m., feeling hungry, sweaty, anxious, or wide awake. Others say they wake up stiff, swollen, or with aching legs. These aren't random symptoms. They're direct reactions to certain foods that are simply not senior-friendly at night. And tonight, we're going to break it all down in a clear, simple way. No confusion, no fear, just real explanations about how your nighttime choices affect your sleep, your heart, and your morning energy. Let's begin with a food most older adults believe is perfectly healthy: citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruits, pineapple, even a glass of orange juice. Many seniors enjoy them at night because they're light, refreshing, and feel easier on the stomach than heavier foods. But after 60, eating citrus before bed can quietly disrupt your sleep, your digestion, and even your early morning blood pressure in ways most people never realize. Here's why. Citrus fruits are extremely acidic, far more acidic than the stomach of an older adult can comfortably handle at night. As we age, the protective mucus lining of the stomach becomes thinner, and the valve between the stomach and esophagus weakens. This allows acid to rise more easily when we lie down. So when you eat citrus in the evening, that acid doesn't stay where it should. It travels upward. And this leads to the classic symptoms many seniors tell me about: a burning sensation in the chest, a sour taste rising into the throat, coughing when lying flat, or waking up gasping for air around 1 or 2 a.m. Most people think this is heartburn or just aging, but it's often the acidity of citrus fruit eaten too late. And then there's the blood sugar issue. Even though citrus fruits taste less sweet than bananas or grapes, they still contain a significant amount of fast-acting fruit sugar. When eaten before bed, these sugars trigger an insulin response at the very time your body is supposed to relax and prepare for sleep. The result? Many older adults fall asleep easily, but wake up a few hours later with a racing heartbeat, sudden hunger, sweating, or a jolt of anxiety. This isn't random. It's the blood sugar drop that follows the evening sugar spike. Another often overlooked issue is blood pressure. Grapefruit in particular interacts with more than 50 medications, including those for blood pressure, cholesterol, and arrhythmia. Eating it before bed can cause unpredictable overnight reactions, especially in seniors on multiple prescriptions. Even pineapple, which has strong anti-inflammatory benefits during the day, contains bromelain, a compound that increases stomach sensitivity and sometimes causes nighttime bloating or discomfort. And here's something many people don't think about. The acid in citrus can irritate the bladder, especially at night. This leads to more nighttime bathroom trips, difficulty falling back asleep, and early morning fatigue. So what's the safer option? Here's what I recommend to my older patients. Enjoy citrus in the morning or early afternoon when your digestion is stronger. Avoid orange juice at night. It's even more acidic than the fruit itself. If you crave something refreshing after dinner, Choose a few slices of cucumber, melon, or berries instead. If you take heart or blood pressure medications, avoid grapefruit in the evening entirely. Citrus can be part of a healthy diet, just not before bed. After 60, your digestive system, blood sugar, and blood pressure are more sensitive to nighttime acidity. Protecting your sleep begins with simple choices like this. Next, let's talk about something many older adults enjoy in the evening: fatty meats. This includes bacon, sausage, pork chops, leftover steak, or any heavy, high-fat meat eaten close to bedtime. These foods may taste comforting, and they certainly feel satisfying, but after 60, they can quietly interfere with your sleep, your digestion, your circulation, and even your morning blood pressure in ways that most people don't connect to their nighttime meal. Here's why. Fatty meats take a very long time to digest, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And after 60, the stomach produces less acid and fewer digestive enzymes, meaning that heavy meals stay in the stomach even longer. When you lie down shortly after eating fatty meat, the stomach is still full and working hard, which increases the chance of digestive discomfort. Many seniors tell me they feel heaviness in the chest, pressure under the rib cage, mild nausea, or waves of acid reflux once they lie down. This isn't age, this is digestion fighting uphill while the body is trying to rest. Then there's the issue of salt. Bacon, sausage, and many packaged meats are extremely high in sodium. Even leftover steak often contains added salt from seasoning or sauces. At night, this becomes a real problem. High sodium can cause overnight fluid retention, swelling in the feet and hands, stiffness in the legs the next morning, and increased nighttime urination. But the bigger concern is what sodium does to blood pressure overnight. For older adults, a salty meal before bed can raise blood pressure for hours, including early morning, the time when strokes and heart attacks are most common. And we haven't even talked about circulation yet. Fatty meats trigger a temporary rise in triglycerides, the fats that circulate in your bloodstream. After 60, these increases last longer and put more strain on the heart. This is why many seniors feel a fast heartbeat, restlessness, or warm, flushed skin when trying to sleep after a heavy meal. Your cardiovascular system is simply working harder than it should at night. Another overlooked issue is sleep quality. Fatty meats increase the production of certain stress hormones as the body tries to break them down. This can lead to lighter sleep, frequent waking, or difficulty reaching deep, restorative sleep, the very stage older adults already struggle to maintain. So what should you do instead? Here's the guidance I give my patients. Eat heavier meats earlier in the day, ideally before 6 p.m. If you crave protein at night, choose something gentle like yogurt, a boiled egg, or a small portion of fish. Stay away from bacon, sausage, ribs, and steak close to bedtime. Drink a glass of water after salty meals to help your kidneys balance sodium. If you take blood pressure medication, avoid salty meats at night entirely. Fatty meats aren't bad, but eating them before bed makes your stomach, your heart, and your circulation work harder at the exact time your body needs rest. And avoiding them at night is one of the simplest ways to wake up with more energy, clearer thinking, and less stiffness in the morning. Now let's look at a group of foods that seems harmless but causes more nighttime discomfort than almost anything else: tomato-based dishes. This includes pasta sauce, chili, salsa, tomato soup, pizza sauce, and even the tomatoes used in spicy dishes. Many seniors enjoy these foods at dinner because they're flavorful, warm, and familiar. But eating them too close to bedtime can disrupt your sleep, irritate your stomach, and trigger overnight heartburn in ways most people never connect to tomatoes. Let me explain why. Tomatoes are naturally very acidic, and that acidity becomes even stronger when tomatoes are cooked into sauces or combined with spices, garlic, onion, or peppers. After 60, the valve between your stomach and esophagus weakens. That means acid rises more easily whenever the stomach fills or whenever you lie down, especially after a meal high in acidity. This is why so many older adults experience burning in the chest when trying to fall asleep, a sour taste rising into the throat, coughing or clearing the throat at night, or waking up around 1 to 3 a.m., feeling like something is stuck. These symptoms seem like random reflux, but they often start with a tomato-based dinner. Another issue is spices. Tomato sauces often contain pepper flakes, chili powder, garlic, or onion, ingredients that stimulate acid production. When you add spices to an already acidic ingredient like tomato, the stomach becomes more reactive, especially in older adults with slower digestion. And then there's the issue of fat plus acid, which is where many seniors get into trouble. Tomato sauces served with meats, cheese, or pasta take longer to digest, keeping the stomach fuller for longer. When this full acidic mixture sits in your stomach as you lie down, reflux becomes almost guaranteed. One more thing people rarely think about. Tomatoes increase fluid movement in the gut, which can trigger bloating, gas, or discomfort late at night. Many older adults tell me they don't sleep well after eating pasta or chili for dinner. They feel restless, uncomfortable, or wake up with a tight belly. This isn't age, it's simply the timing of the meal. Another smaller but important concern is blood pressure. Canned tomato products, including pasta sauce and tomato soup, are often extremely high in sodium. A salty tomato meal at night can raise your blood pressure for hours, including during sleep, and increase nighttime trips to the bathroom. So what should you do instead? Here's what I recommend to my older patients. Avoid tomato-based dinners within 3 to 4 hours of bedtime. If you enjoy pasta or chili, eat it earlier in the evening or at lunchtime. Choose lighter dinner options like baked fish, steamed vegetables, eggs, or oatmeal. If you crave something savory at night, try broth-based soups instead of tomato soups. If you struggle with reflux, avoid salsa, spicy sauces, and pizza sauce after 6 p.m. Tomatoes are healthy during the day, but eating them before bed, especially in sauce form, forces your stomach, your digestive system, and your esophagus to work harder at night. And avoiding them in the evening can dramatically improve sleep quality for older adults. Now let's talk about something many older adults enjoy as a small treat at night: dark chocolate. It feels harmless, just a square or two after dinner, maybe with a warm drink while winding down for the evening. Dark chocolate is even promoted as heart healthy. And while there's truth to that, the timing matters. Eating dark chocolate before bed can quietly disturb your sleep, raise nighttime heart rate, and trigger morning fatigue far more easily after 60. Here's why. Most people don't realize that dark chocolate contains caffeine, sometimes as much as a small cup of tea. And for older adults who metabolize caffeine more slowly, that small amount of caffeine can stay active in the body for 6 to 8 hours. Instead of helping you wind down, it gently stimulates your nervous system right when you need it to quiet down. This is why many seniors tell me, I fall asleep, but I don't stay asleep. I wake up at 2 a.m. for no reason. My mind feels active even when I'm tired. My heart feels like it's beating harder at night. These symptoms are classic signs of mild nighttime caffeine stimulation, and dark chocolate contains another stimulant many people have never heard of: theobromine. Theobromine increases heart rate, widens blood vessels, and elevates alertness. Younger adults usually tolerate it well, but in older adults it can cause a pounding or fluttering heartbeat, warm or flushed skin, anxious feelings at night, or restless sleep. If you've ever felt wired but tired after eating chocolate at night, this is why. There's also the issue of acid and reflux. Dark chocolate relaxes the valve between the stomach and esophagus, the same valve that weakens naturally with age. When it relaxes even more, stomach acid moves upward easily, especially when lying down. Many older adults wake up with a burning chest, a sour taste, throat irritation, or coughing at night. Again, they may blame dinner, but often it's the chocolate afterward. Another hidden concern is blood pressure and circulation. Dark chocolate contains compounds that temporarily increase nitric oxide. That sounds beneficial, but when eaten late at night, it can cause unpredictable blood pressure dips followed by rebounds, something older blood vessels handle poorly. For seniors with hypertension, AFib, or circulation problems in the legs, this nighttime fluctuation can leave them feeling shaky or weak in the morning. And then there's the sugar factor. Even 70% or 80% dark chocolate contains sugar. Eating sugar before bed spikes insulin, which then drops during the night. This contributes to waking up hungry, night sweats, anxiety around 2 to 3 a.m., or disrupted dream sleep. So what should you do? Here's what I tell my patients. Enjoy dark chocolate before 4 p.m., not at night. Avoid it entirely if you have nighttime heart palpitations or trouble staying asleep. If you want something sweet before bed, choose a small handful of berries or a sugar-free herbal tea. If you struggle with reflux, eliminate dark chocolate from evening snacks completely. Dark chocolate is not unhealthy, just poorly timed when eaten at night. After 60, your nervous system, digestion, and heart react more strongly to stimulants, and simply moving your chocolate treat to earlier in the day can make your nights calmer and your mornings more rested. Bananas are one of the most misunderstood nighttime foods. Many older adults eat a banana before bed because it feels gentle on the stomach, easy to digest, and naturally calming. Some even believe it helps with sleep or nighttime cramps. But after 60, eating a banana too late in the evening can quietly disrupt sleep, raise insulin at the wrong time, and trigger early morning fatigue in ways most people never connect to this simple fruit. Here's why. Bananas contain a high amount of natural sugars, glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Even though the sweetness feels mild, these sugars are fast absorbing. When you eat a banana close to bedtime, your blood sugar rises quickly. The body responds by releasing insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar into the cells. At night, this is a problem. Your body is supposed to be preparing for rest, not digestion and blood sugar regulation. Insulin spikes interfere with melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. That's why so many seniors tell me, I fall asleep, but I wake up at 1 or 2 a.m. I feel shaky or sweaty in the middle of the night. I wake up hungry even though I ate before bed. These are classic signs of a blood sugar drop after an evening banana. There's also a circulation issue. Bananas are high in potassium, a mineral that supports muscles and the heart. But at night, especially for older adults on blood pressure medications, ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or diuretics, this extra potassium can create an imbalance. Some people feel twitching muscles, a fluttering heartbeat, restless legs, or a heavy feeling in their calves. Often, they blame aging, but the nighttime potassium spike is part of the story. Digestion is another concern. Ripe bananas digest quickly, but not instantly. If you lie down soon after eating one, the sugar ferments slightly in the stomach, especially in adults with slower nighttime digestion. This can lead to bloating, stomach pressure, or reflux, and older adults are far more sensitive to these subtle digestive changes at night. Bananas also contain tryptophan, which sounds beneficial for sleep, but only helps when the fruit is eaten earlier in the day. At night, tryptophan competes with other amino acids and doesn't convert efficiently. So the calming effect many expect simply doesn't happen. So what should you do? Here's the guidance I give my patients. Eat bananas early in the day, ideally before 3 p.m. If you crave a nighttime snack, choose something lighter like a few berries or a handful of nuts. Avoid bananas completely at night if you take blood pressure medication or have diabetes. If you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. often, try removing bananas from your evening routine for a week. Most people see an immediate improvement. For leg cramps, use magnesium-rich foods or an electrolyte drink instead of a banana at bedtime. Bananas are healthy, just not at night. After 60, even gentle foods can interfere with sleep if the timing is wrong. And avoiding bananas before bed is one of the simplest ways to stabilize blood sugar, calm the nervous system, and wake up with more steady energy in the morning. This next one surprises a lot of older adults. Yogurt with fruit or honey. It sounds healthy, it looks healthy, and during the day, it is healthy. Yogurt supports digestion, fruit provides vitamins, and honey offers natural sweetness. But at night, especially after 60, this combination can quietly disrupt your stomach, raise insulin, trigger fermentation, and fragment your sleep. Let's break down why. Yogurt contains lactose, a milk sugar that becomes harder to digest with age. Even people who tolerate dairy well during the day often struggle with it at night because digestion naturally slows down in the evening. When yogurt sits in the stomach longer than it should, it can cause bloating, a heavy or tight feeling under the rib cage, nighttime gas, or reflux once lying down. This is one of the biggest reasons many seniors feel uncomfortable after what they believed was a light snack. Then we add fruit, which is where the real trouble begins. Fruit contains fast-acting sugars and fermentable fibers. At night, when the gut slows, these fibers ferment in the stomach and intestines. This fermentation produces gas and pressure, which can push acid upward into the esophagus. Many older adults experience burping, restless sleep, waking up bloated, or coughing in the middle of the night. They often blame dinner, but it's the dairy plus fruit combination sitting in a quiet, slower-moving digestive system that's causing the issue. And then there's honey. Honey is perfectly fine earlier in the day, but at night, its high fructose content stimulates insulin release right before bedtime. This disrupts melatonin and increases the chance of waking up at 1 to 3 a.m., the most common pattern for seniors experiencing blood sugar drops. So when you combine lactose from yogurt, sugars from fruit, fructose from honey, and slow nighttime digestion, it becomes a recipe for poor sleep, even if each ingredient is healthy on its own. Another concern is heartburn. Yogurt is slightly acidic. Fruit is acidic. Honey relaxes the valve between the stomach and esophagus. When you lie down after eating this combination, acid moves upward easily, especially in older adults whose reflux symptoms are often worse at night. And for those with diabetes or prediabetes, this late-night carb load can cause early morning blood sugar spikes, what doctors call the dawn phenomenon. So what should you do instead? Here's what I recommend to my patients. Enjoy yogurt in the morning or afternoon when digestion is strongest. Avoid fruit plus yogurt at night, especially berries, bananas, or pineapple. Skip honey after 6 p.m. to protect your sleep and blood sugar. If you want a light nighttime snack, try a handful of nuts, a boiled egg, or herbal tea. If reflux keeps you up at night, remove all dairy from your evening routine. Yogurt, fruit, and honey are wonderful foods, just not before bed. After 60, when digestion slows and sleep becomes more fragile, choosing the right evening foods can make the difference between a restless night and the deep, peaceful sleep your body truly needs. Now let's talk about something many seniors enjoy without thinking: spicy foods. A little hot sauce on dinner, chili powder in a stew, curry dishes, or even spicy salsa with evening snacks. Spices can be wonderful during the day, boosting metabolism and adding flavor. But at night, especially after 60, spicy foods can quietly disrupt your sleep, irritate your stomach, and trigger heart symptoms you may not connect to your evening meal. Here's why. Spicy foods contain compounds like capsaicin, which stimulate the digestive tract. During the day, this stimulation can help digestion, but at night, when your body is trying to wind down, that same stimulation becomes a problem. Capsaicin increases stomach acid production, blood flow to the digestive tract, heat in the body, and alertness in the nervous system. This is the opposite of what your body needs before sleep. Many older adults tell me, "I feel hot when I lie down. My chest burns at night. I wake up sweating. I can't get comfortable. My heart feels fast." These aren't random symptoms. They're direct reactions to the late-night spices. The acid reflux issue is even bigger. After 60, the esophageal valve weakens, making older adults much more prone to reflux. Spicy foods irritate this valve and relax it at the same time. That means acid rises more easily, especially when lying flat. If you ever feel burning in the throat, a sour taste while sleeping, coughing at night, or waking up gasping for air, spicy dinner foods may be the hidden cause. Another concern is heart rate and nighttime palpitations. Capsaicin temporarily raises heart rate and widens blood vessels. For younger people, this is harmless, but older adults, especially those with high blood pressure, AFib, or circulation problems, may feel a pounding heartbeat at night, warmth spreading through the chest, or a jittery, restless feeling when trying to fall asleep. These symptoms often cause anxiety, making sleep even harder. And then there's digestion speed. Spicy foods slow stomach emptying for many older adults. A heavy or spicy meal can sit in the stomach for hours, leading to bloating, pressure under the ribs, or waking up with stomach discomfort. Even mild salsa or pepper flakes can trigger this response if eaten too close to bedtime. So what should you do? Here's what I recommend to my older patients. Avoid spicy dinners after 6 p.m. Skip late-night snacks like chips with salsa or spicy noodles. If you love spicy food, eat it at lunchtime, not nighttime. Drink a small glass of warm water after eating spicy foods to support digestion. If reflux is a problem, eliminate spicy foods at night completely. If you take heart medication, be extra cautious. Nighttime heart stimulation can interfere with rest. Spices aren't unhealthy. In fact, they're wonderful at the right time of day. But at night, especially after 60, spicy foods activate the very systems your body is trying to relax. Avoiding them in the evening can dramatically improve sleep quality, reduce reflux, and make your nights calmer and more comfortable. Now let's move to a nighttime habit many older adults don't think twice about: grabbing leftover pizza or cheese-based snacks before bed. Maybe it's one slice from dinner, a handful of cheese crackers, or a late-night quesadilla. It feels comforting, familiar, and satisfying. But after 60, heavy dairy and cheese-based foods at night can quietly strain your digestion, elevate nighttime blood pressure, and weaken your sleep in ways most people never expect. Here's why. Cheese is high in saturated fat, and saturated fat takes a long time to digest. While younger adults may break it down more easily, older adults process fats much more slowly, especially at night when the digestive system naturally slows down. A slice of pizza or a handful of cheese snacks eaten close to bedtime can sit in the stomach for hours. This leads to a heavy or tight feeling under the ribs, indigestion, waking up feeling stuffed, or increased acid reflux when lying flat. The fat plus acid combination from pizza sauce makes reflux even worse, and older adults are far more sensitive to this because the esophageal valve naturally weakens with age. Then there's the issue of salt. Pizza, cheese crackers, and processed cheese snacks are extremely high in sodium. Salt pulls water into the bloodstream, increasing blood volume, and in older adults with slower kidney function, that can raise nighttime blood pressure. This is why many seniors experience waking up thirsty, needing to urinate more during the night, swollen fingers or ankles in the morning, or a pounding heartbeat when trying to fall asleep. Most never link these symptoms to that small, harmless, late-night pizza bite. Another issue is casein, the primary protein in cheese. Casein takes a long time to break down and increases the release of acid in the stomach. In the evening, this slows digestion further and interferes with sleep cycles. And then there's cheese combined with carbohydrates, such as crackers or pizza crust. This combination spikes blood sugar first, from the carbs, and then triggers a delayed insulin response, from the fat slowing digestion. The result is the classic 1 to 3 a.m. wake-up many seniors describe: hungry, shaky, sweaty, or restless. We also need to mention nighttime heart stress. Fat-heavy meals temporarily increase triglycerides, fats circulating in your bloodstream. After 60, triglycerides stay elevated longer. Eating heavy fatty dairy at night forces your heart to work harder while you're sleeping, which can lead to shallow sleep, night sweats, vivid or stressful dreams, or waking up feeling drained rather than rested. So what should you do? Here's the guidance I give my patients. Avoid pizza, cheese crackers, nachos, melted cheese, or heavy dairy within 3 to 4 hours of bedtime. If you crave something savory, try a broth-based soup or a small piece of whole grain toast. Drink water after salty meals to help your kidneys balance fluid levels. If you take blood pressure medication or have reflux, avoid cheese-based snacks at night entirely. Keep dairy as a daytime food. It digests more comfortably when your metabolism is active. Cheese snacks and pizza aren't bad. They just demand more from your digestive system and cardiovascular system than your nighttime body can comfortably give. And avoiding them before bed is one of the simplest ways to reduce reflux, sleep better, and protect your heart as you age. Finally, let's talk about a food many seniors believe is harmless, even healthy. Before bed, dried fruits. A handful of raisins, a couple of dates, a few dried apricots, or even prunes. They feel like a light, natural snack. But after 60, dried fruits can quietly disrupt digestion, spike blood sugar, and disturb your sleep far more than fresh fruit ever would. Here's why. Dried fruits are extremely concentrated. When the water is removed, all that remains is dense sugar, dense fiber, and dense calories, packed into a small bite. A single date can contain as much sugar as half a banana. A small handful of raisins can contain the same sugar as a full cup of grapes. When eaten before bed, these sugars hit the bloodstream fast. Your insulin rises, your blood sugar spikes, and when that spike drops a few hours later, usually around 1 to 3 a.m., many seniors wake up with a racing heart, sweating, restlessness, anxiety, or sudden hunger. Most people think it's insomnia, but for many older adults, it's a blood sugar crash triggered by dried fruit eaten too late. There's also the issue of fermentation. Dried fruits are rich in fermentable fibers, especially raisins, apricots, and prunes. During the day, this can support gut health. But at night, when digestion slows to prepare for sleep, these fibers ferment in the stomach and intestines. That fermentation creates gas and pressure. This is why older adults often feel bloating, stomach tightening, gas pains, or pressure rising into the chest when lying down. All of these can trigger nighttime reflux or prevent you from reaching deep sleep. Another issue is potassium overload. Dried fruits, prunes, apricots, dates are extremely high in potassium. For older adults taking blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, this can create sudden nighttime imbalances. Symptoms may include tingling in the legs, muscle twitching, irregular heartbeat, or a heavy feeling in the chest at night. Most never suspect dried fruit could do this. Dried fruit also contains sulfites, preservatives that can irritate the stomach lining and cause nighttime coughing or throat tightness in seniors who are sensitive. And then there's the calorie density. Eating dried fruits right before bed means your body will still be digesting and processing energy hours into the night. This slows the calming of your nervous system and increases overnight heart rate, exactly the opposite of what your body needs for good sleep. So what should you do? Here's what I recommend to my patients. Avoid dried fruits within 3 to 4 hours of bedtime. If you enjoy them, eat a small amount earlier in the day. Choose fresh fruit for nighttime cravings. It's gentler on digestion and blood sugar. If you take blood pressure or heart medications, be especially careful with dried fruits at night. For constipation, prunes should be eaten in the morning, not at bedtime. Dried fruits aren't unhealthy, but at night their concentrated sugars and fibers are simply too strong for an aging digestive system. Avoiding them before bed is one of the easiest ways to protect your sleep, your blood sugar, and your overnight heart rhythm, and many seniors feel the difference after just a few days. Before we end tonight, I want to leave you with something simple and reassuring. Better sleep after 60 isn't only about the mattress you use or the time you go to bed. It's also about the quiet choices you make in the evening, the foods you reach for, the snacks you think are harmless, the little habits that seem comforting but keep your body working long after your mind wants to rest. When you remove these nighttime trigger foods, something surprising happens. Your stomach settles, your heart rate stays calmer, your legs feel lighter in the morning, and you begin sleeping not just longer, but deeper. The kind of sleep that lets your brain repair, your muscles recover, and your energy return. It doesn't take big changes, just gentle adjustments, shifting certain foods to earlier in the day and choosing kinder, easier options at night. For many of my older patients, these small steps become the turning point that restores restful sleep after years of nighttime discomfort. If tonight's lesson helped you understand your body a little better, I hope you'll stay with me on this journey. We're building a space where older adults can learn, protect their health, and feel more confident every single day. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone you love. And let me know in the comments, which nighttime food surprised you the most? I'll see you in the next lesson. Sleep well and take gentle care of yourself.